Breaking news, Heat fans. As you might have already seen by the title, Bradley Beal is not going to be playing for the Miami Heat. He was just traded to the Phoenix Suns. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN broke the story just minutes to go, and I am filming exactly maybe 30 seconds after the tweet was sent out by Adrian Wojnarowski. Shams Charania also on it as well. Bradley Beal being sent to the Phoenix Suns, and now they have some sort of trio out there in Phoenix, and I just wanted to hop on here and talk about what this means for the Miami Heat, and this is very devastating, if we're going to be quite honest here, because now the Heat trade targets to get significantly better this offseason are basically dwindling to two people. And if they want to trade for a scoring guard, I mean, obviously there's other ways to improve your roster through sign-in trades and stuff like that for forwards and stuff. But the guard situation and being a score-first guard, which the Heat desperately need alongside Jimmy and Bam, there really is now two people that I think that they could go out and get, one being Damian Lillard and one being Zach LaVine. And we'll break down those two players more in depth throughout this video. But I feel like every time I start one of these videos, I have to let you guys know to make sure you subscribe. And this is exactly why. This doesn't even have anything to do with the Heat, the move, but now it impacts the rest of this Heat offseason and their direction going into next year. So I had to hop on and talk about it. So make sure you hit that sub button. We'll be here for all offseason rumors and news for your Miami Heat, how it impacts us and impacts the rest of the league. So this is exactly what the Phoenix Suns sent to the Washington Wizards. They sent Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and a handful of second-round picks and multiple pick swaps. That's according to Shams Charania. So the Wizards elected to, and I guess Bradley Beal elected to go to Phoenix rather than Miami. And the package of Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, potentially Haywood Highsmith, Nikola Jovic, or first-round pick did not get the job done for Bradley Beal. And now the Heat really are left in a spot where there's going to be a lot of questions. Pat Riley likes to go whale hunting. And the only whale/orca is what we like to call it, is Damian Lillard. And I think maybe the Heat coming out and the report leaking to say we're fine waiting on Damian Lillard because we know he's a much better player and it's fine to wait and not go after Bradley Beal. Maybe that report made Bradley Beal angry and Beal elected to go with Phoenix. Because remember, Bradley Beal had a full no-trade clause, which means he got to pick where he went and basically pick the package that he went for. So even if the Wizards like the Phoenix Suns offer more, then Bradley Beal could have still said, no, I'd rather go to Miami. So Beal elects to go to Phoenix over Miami. Maybe it's because of that report that came out there, fine waiting for Damian Lillard. And maybe this is the perfect time for the Suns to go all in. Obviously, they add Beal to Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, and that is now an unbelievable big three, but we'll keep it on track for Miami. And this is just really devastating. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, really, just like most of you guys, that the Heat weren't able to get this job done because it felt like Beal is someone who wanted to play in Miami. He's good friends with Bam Adebayo, and it would have made a lot of sense for them to team up and create a pretty solid trio to potentially go out and win a championship. And now the Heat and Pat Riley are going to have to pivot. I think you could probably plan on the Heat taking a player with that 18th pick on Thursday in the NBA draft because Damian Lillard cannot be traded until July 9th. So obviously, they can agree in principle to a trade. It just can't go through till July 9th, even though the offseason has already started. So they're taking a player at 18, and maybe that player gets sent to Portland in a future deal with Damian Lillard. But either way, the Heat will be looking to draft a impact player at 18 now and go into that draft assuming that they're going to have to take someone to help them win and advance and hopefully win that championship next year. So I have a lot of prospects that I'd like, but for the rest of this video, I'm going to basically just talk about what this trade means and why we have to go after different players. And I think the first player that I want to mention is Damian Lillard. Like I just said, can't be traded till July 9th, so there's a bit of a time gap there. Lillard in that Portland Trailblazers front office, is Dame finally going to ask out? The Blazers have already said they don't plan on trading in Damian Lillard, so Dame would have to ask his way out and force his way out, which Portland would then facilitate a trade in all likelihood because of what Lillard's done for that franchise and the community. So I think if Lillard wanted out, the Heat could be the number one team on his list, and I think they could get a deal done there. Now, with that being said, Dame's got to ask out, which is a big if because he's one of the most loyal players in the NBA. He's on record saying that he wants to win a championship in Portland. He doesn't want to leave and form a super team. He wants to stay with the grind and try to get it done in Portland. Now, there's been some rumblings that mind frame for Dame has finally switched and he would be willing to ask out. But we still got to see it happen before he actually does. But obviously, if he does ask out, the Heat will be one of the number one teams interested. And I probably maybe them and Brooklyn would be the two teams that are solely focused on Damian Lillard. The Heat's package would likely be Hero, Caleb Martin, Nikola Jovic, even though I just talked about him up in the last video and how much I'd love to keep him. Damian Lillard's a different beast than Bradley Beal. So I think it would be those three players alongside 3 first-round picks because after 2023, they'd be able to offer, I believe it's 24 if they get it switched with OKC. There's a protection issue with 25, 26. I think they'd be able to get 24 free, 24, 28, 30, or they can do 27, 29, and 23, which probably is unlikely. It'd probably have to be the 24, 28, 30 range, obviously, because of the siphon rule. You can't trade back-to-back first-round picks because stupid rule. But anyway, you can't do it. So Damian Lillard would cost a lot. He's probably the number one priority now for the Miami Heat this offseason. And I know Heat fans are going to be in shambles of who they are going to be able to upgrade their roster with because Beal was out there for them to take, and they weren't able to take advantage of it. So now they have to pivot to Damian Lillard. And I want to touch on Zach LaVine lightly as well. Rumblings that the Chicago Bulls will potentially blow up that roster with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and potentially go the draft route. They don't have a first-round pick. They'd like to acquire a first-round pick. So maybe you can offer them a Hero and a first-round pick and maybe another. So Hero and 2 firsts for Zach LaVine. LaVine is an excellent scorer who can put up 23, 25 points per game on efficiency, just like Bradley Beal. I think Beal and LaVine are very similar players. I would put them borderline in the same tier. LaVine's got a better contract than Bradley Beal. So if the Heat were to target Zach LaVine, you can argue that Beal and LaVine are very similar players in their production and the way they play and the way they would fit in the Miami Heat system. Both don't play defense, both isolation scorers, both fantastic shooters who can attack the rim. But LaVine is on a better deal, so he would be a little bit more expensive than the projected package the Heat would offer or did offer for Bradley Beal. So you'd have to probably give up Hero and a couple firsts for LaVine, but you'd get a player who's on a better contract, equal production, and maybe a better fit because he's more of he can play more off-ball than Bradley Beal's accustomed to. Beal has the ball in his hands more than Zach LaVine did. So I think it could fit. And I think LaVine is probably my second target now for the Miami Heat. I think it goes Damian Lillard and Zach LaVine, 1-2. And I don't really think there's anybody in that 3-4 range where I'd be comfortable trading away the house to get. So the Heat are now left in shambles as Bradley Beal is now a Phoenix Sun. The Heat and Pat Riley, as I've mentioned 2 or 3 times throughout this video, have to make tough decisions now going into this NBA draft of are they going to get Dame? Are they going to try to get Zach LaVine? Those are the 2 main guys on my mind. If you guys think of anyone else who the Heat should try to trade and target in the trade market, maybe they revisit Kyrie Irving. Maybe they don't. But those 2 players, Zach LaVine, Damian Lillard, at the top of my list. But from now, I guess until the NBA draft on Thursday, going to be sitting waiting and who the Heat going to pick at 18 because I don't see them trading that pick before Thursday and unless Dame asks out tomorrow morning. The Heat are in for a bit of a wait-and-see game, just like we were with Bradley Beal. But now that Beal wait-and-see game is over, unfortunately he's a Phoenix Sun. This is why you subscribe to the Heat Report. I'll see you guys tomorrow with probably an updated free agency and trade rumors and draft rumors video, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys out. Peace out, guys.